Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to the second chapter, Foundation of Planning. Today we are going to have this online session, and in this chapter we're going to discuss the what and why of planning, why the planning is important, and we'll also discuss the goals and the plans that are being set, and then setting goals and developing plans. What is the difference between MBO, management by objectives, and the traditional plans, and what are the contemporary issues in the planning? So basically, we all know that planning is an integral part for the management. So planning is a very crucial thing. And according to one quotation, they say if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it means you are going to be failing if you're not planning for something. So you have to be planning beforehand. It's a primary managerial activity that involves planning. In this whole process, what we do is we are defining organizational goals, or we are trying to establish an overall strategy for achieving those goals, and then we're trying to develop plans for the organization about what activities. So let's try to understand this thing. If you are in a company and your company is in your current year, it has made 10 million of profit. That is year 2024. But you are planning that in 2025 we will be aiming for a higher, say 12 million of revenue. So this is where you are, and this is how you want to be. Where do you want to be? So if you want to make a chart, that is a yearly chart. You can just show it from here. I'm a bit frustrated now. Okay, so here you got 10 million. So 15 million. So here we are in dollars or pounds, or we have monetary things, and there we have ratios. So what happens is, this is where we are, and this is what we want to achieve in next year. So this is kind of a difference. This is the increased thing that we are trying to catch up with. This is going to require us to do some extra efforts. So for that, we need to develop strategy. So if we are trying to get 2 million extra next year, we have to understand how we're going to get this extra sales. So this is your sales volume here. It can be your revenue volume, whatever you're going to set a target for yourself. Okay, revenue and sales is different. So here I'm not just trying to explain to you what is the difference, because we are not into understanding the financial terms, but our focus is on understanding the goals. So that's how it is. So what would you need to be doing something different. So from 10% to 12, if you're trying to aim for 12 million, you're basically trying to increase 20% of your profit or sales, whatever you have this goal. So 20% is a huge thing, isn't it? So that would require some serious consideration. So once you have set yourself this goal, then you establish the strategy. How will you go about this thing? How are you going to achieve your goals? Are you going to right now you are working 12 hours a day. Are you going to change the shift to 24 hours a day? Working day and night? Is it for 24/7? Hmm? Or are you going to explore to new markets? You are just you were earlier selling in Al Hassa, and now you're planning to go to Riyadh. For that, you might need to get a new outlet. Imagine if you are working in Malda. So what will happen? You have one outlet here in Al Hassa, and you just need another outlet. So for that, you will need huge amount of money. So you have to dedicate this amount of money for this new outlet. What other ways you can introduce ways? Are you going to introduce new flavors? Are you going to try to provide home deliveries? Well, what is your strategy? So whatever you have set your goals, now it's your responsibility to achieve those goals. Then you set the strategy. What is required? How are we going to do it? Then you develop plans for organizational works. So who is doing what? So you give assignments to the individuals and you on different departments and they have to achieve those things. Based on the types of planning, there can be like informal plans and formal plans. Informal plans are not well written down. They may be short-term focused and they can have a specific to an organization unit. So you can have informal plans for your department, like Department of Management or Department of Engineering. They can have their own informal plan. Then you can have formal plans. They are written down, specific and long-term focused plans. So normal big companies, they share these plans to the organizational members. So this is a difference between formal and informal kind of plans. So what is the purpose of the plan? So as we have looked into the example that we set for ourselves from 20 million to say 12 million of sales, so here we have got sales, economies, here we got viewers. So it gives us a direction. Yeah, now we know that we are trying to improve the sales. So our most focus is going to be the sales and stock and production. So it reduces uncertainty because until and unless you do not define things, people are just running around and they do not know what is required from them. So it minimizes the waste and redundancy. So when you know what you're trying to achieve, and then you set yourself some targets and you just achieving those targets, that is helping you to overcome the waste and overcome the redundancy. Let me give you an example. This example is also going to work out in our next slide as well. But if you have like 12 months, you just setting. But if you have like 12 months, you just setting target for each month. That is going to be, let's say, 1 million in each month, then you can get 12 million on month 12. That is the target you can set. So imagine in year 6 you go here, in year 7 you go below, year 8 you go below it, then it can have a problem for you. You're not achieving your target, you know, it must be here. This is 1 million that we have made out of this 12 million target for the next year. So we will just target it one every month. We will be making sales of 1 million. So that helps you to minimize your waste. You know, oh, we are having problem here, and we have to do something about this. So probably here you just try to cover up on 11th month, and then you get try to achieve, and you just end up on. So it helps you to set standards for controlling the way we have just got here. You're gonna set yourself some standards, and if you'll be following these standards, you'll just get check them if you are following, if you are going in the right direction. So planning is very important for the companies. It's important for the students as well, because students, they also have a CGPA system, you know. So in every semester, you just see where's my CGPA going. If this is your semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, semester 4. If your CGPA was to target 3, okay. And next semester you have like slightly slow, then you have to make some extra efforts, and then that's how you will make up for CGPA. So it is always good if you just plan and if you just make some yardstick or benchmark to achieve it. And obviously there's a direct link between planning and performance, especially in the company. That's why we do it, because we want to achieve the highest performance. The purpose of planning is to increase the performance. So farmer performance is associated with higher profits and higher returns on assets, and is positive with financial results. So basically what you are trying to achieve is you are trying to achieve higher sales, the way we have just got this example, hypothetical example. Okay. The quality of planning and implementing affects performance more than the extent of the plan. So it's not like you are planning and it will ensure you good results, but it's the quality of the plan. It is what is you are measuring, what is you are trying to improve. If you're working on the right things, then it's going to help you to increase the performance. If you are working on the wrong things, then probably you not get the desired outcomes. So it is crucial for the companies to understand this thing. And another thing is the external environment plays a very important role. So what happens is there's lots of happening outside the company. This is the plan that you have set for yourself. But imagine as something happens outside your company's domain, like we have seen coronavirus pandemic that has severely affected businesses. Then what happens if a geopolitical situation in the region happens, like in the like we have witnessed once, there was like a Gulf War that has severely affected the oil prices in the whole world, you know. But something happens in the region that also affects your business. Then what about your national policy if changes over the period of time? If the government supports import of certain products and services, or if it puts a ban on those products and services, or if it puts a higher tariff on this and the prices goes up, they're going to have an effect on your business as well in achieving these targets. So foreign plan must be used for several years before planning begins to affect performance. So it's a learning process. You cannot just plan today and the next day you're going to learn and get desired outcomes. but it's at least you are working on the right direction. If you're working on the right direction, it means you are going to be moving somewhere, so in a positive way. Then you have to understand that there are two aspects of planning, which we call it goals and plans. So goals or objectives are what you want or desired outcome. So here our desired outcome was 12 million sales. So, but as a student, your desired outcome is I want to have a CPP of 3.5 or above. So it provides you a direction, it gives you evaluation criteria that you will be checking yourself in every semester if I'm following and getting it. You are checking this on every month if I'm getting it or not. Plans, on the other hand, they are the documents that outline how goals are to be accomplished. So they provide the route how you're going to achieve those targets. So they describe how resources are to be allocated and established activities schedule. So as I told you, if you are planning to open a new outlet in the Dammam or some other region, so you need extra funds. So in planning, you just dedicate funds for this. So let's say we have dedicated Saudi Riyal 30 million for this new outlet. It's promotion also. So it's also involving allocating and establishing schemes and budgets. So I have to understand this point. The plans can be different. They can be financial plans. As I gave you an example, they are related to the expected internal financial performance of the organization, like budget, income, revenues. You can just set for that. Then you can have strategic income, revenues. You can just set for that. Then you can have strategic goals. They are related to the performance of the firms related to the factors in its external environment. Perhaps you are not focused on your personal goals that you want to achieve 20% of or 12 million, but you can just see your competitors. I'm just trying to make a market share graph of, let's say, QSRs. QSR, do you know QSRs? QSRs are quick service restaurants. Okay. Response. So here we are Mazda. This is Mazda. This is we have got like 10% of the share and Al-Hatha. Then we have Al-Baik. So they have like 20% of the market. KFC. So they have got 10%. McDonald's. So they also got 10%. Who else? Burger King. 10%. How much? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So they will be local. 40% really absolutely. Okay, so what we are trying to set ourselves target is like We want to increase our share in the pie. So we are targeting 15% of the market share. So for that, if you want 15% of the market, then probably we are interested to open a new outlet somewhere. So again, it's going to ask for more budget, for more fund, So then we will be able to, probably we might offer new schemes. So anyways, this is if we are doing something like this is called strategic goals. We have stated goals or real goals. Sometimes you are just stating that we are doing this in order to achieve this, but you have other goals which you are not disclosing to other people. For instance, Boeing airline was dedicating too much funds for this airline and its services and quality, and they were just saying we wanted to become better in the industry. And later on, we come to learn that the American government was injecting funding to them, and that's why they have become super giants, and they have just eliminated the competition. And the other competitors, especially from the Europe, they could not compete them because they were not very profitable. They could not sustain it. So the point which I'm trying to tell you is sometimes when we are saying is that can be different than we are actually doing. The same goes for the broadly worded official statements of organization intended for public consumption that they make it for the public. These statements can vary. They can be irrelevant to the real goal. What actually goes on the organizations, what they really want to. So we have seen, like, if you remember Microsoft, they were condemned by Microsoft. They were criticized for eliminating their competition. They faced no competition, so they were criticized that they have just taken away all of their competitors. They just wiped them off. So according to a competition law, you cannot you must have to have a fair kind of a competition in open markets. But that's why it's a stated goal can be different than your real goals. Then we have to understand the types of plans. The plans are divided on four bases. It is on the breadth of the plan. It can have a time frame. It can have a specificity, or it can have frequency. How many times you will using this plan. On a breadth, what do you mean? It can be a very strategic that is just incorporating the whole company and its duration, and it can be very basic for operations and particular or specific to those operations. So plan can be very operational basis or can be very strategic basis. It can have a long-term plan, or it can be very short-term. So in long-term plan, according to this, is more than 3 years. If your plan is more than 3 years or 2 to 3 years, that is a long-term plan. The short-term plan is something that is less than it could be one or less than one. And then you can have a medium-term plan. I guess that is going to be, it should be more than one and less than three. So that can be a medium-term plan. Then you can have a plan that is specifically directional, that just provides you the direction what needs to be done, and it's not like it leaves you a room for you to make necessary adjustments. Or it is very specific that this is what is required from you. I'll just explain these on next slides, and all these things. Then strategic plan, it can be one single use, or it can be standing plan that you can be using it in certain standard situations. So let's discuss the strategic plans. As I told you, they apply to the whole entire organization. They establish the organization's overall goals. They seek to position the organization in terms of its environment, and it covers extended period of time. Again, I'm just referring back to the market share we were talking about. You just keep this example in your mind, you will understand that what it means. Operational plans contribute to this. They are very specific. They specify the details of how the overall goals are to be achieved, and they cover a short period of time. They are for the long period of times, and operational goals are for the short period of time. Then, as we discussed, the plans can be long-term and short-term. Again, rephrasing those plans that with time frames extended beyond 3 years at long-term, plans with time frames of 1 year or less is short-term, and any plan between them is called medium-term plan. Specific plans can be that are clearly defined and leave no room for interpretation. They are really specifically what you have to do. But directional plans, they are flexible plans that set out general guidelines. They provide focus yet allow discretion in implementation. This provide focus yet allow discretion in implementation. This example is going to be explained here. So in this here, right hand side, say A, it is specific plan. It asks you to go outside from this corridor, then take a left, then take a right, then take a left and go to the extreme, then take right, and you'll find it. Place where you want to go. So you have to actually meet in there, but follow these instructions. Specifically follow this. Contrary to that, in the directional plans, you just tell your staff that we want to go to stage B, and that's it. They are here, you want to go there. So you just let them choose the right path for themselves. Or whatever path shows to them. So in the directional plan, you just give them the overall directions. I hope you understand this. Then there can be plans, they can be for single use, there can be plans, there are standing plans. For example, single use plans, like mostly, if you have incorporated a new department, you might need certain activities that we are doing it for the first time, and probably you might not be doing it later on. Or we can see that in the coronavirus or pandemic, especially nowadays due to the AC failure, we are going through some specific plans that we might not be following in the future. There are plans that are standing plans that are plans. Someone asked a question, Ali?
Yeah, Doctor, the previous slide, we don't have it. Did you update them? Because I couldn't find the slide, the diagram. Yeah, this one.
You did not find this one? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's the same as today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I searched for it and it's not on the Blackboard one or with us. So could you update?
How many slides do you have? How many
No, this specific slide is not there.
I understand what you're saying. Because there are like two versions. One is a shorter version of the slides that we made for engineering students so that they will be comfortable with the course, you know. So can you please tell me how many slides do you have in your?
In total, I have 27 in total.
27. Okay, so you are basically I've got like 26 over here in this. So this is a shorter version, I guess. There are a few slides that are being exempted. So if you're following that shorter version, that's okay, no problem. But this is just the slide, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
So the point is that we have made a shorter version of slides for our engineering students so that they will just find it easy for them to follow this concept, you know?
Yeah, sure, doctor. It's easier while studying, you mean?
Yeah, that is the point. Okay, so let's come into this point, standing plans. So if we take the examples of this day-to-day routines of teaching, lectures, delivering, and monitoring, and taking the attendance of the students, completion of the lecture, and then taking quizzes, taking assignment. These are all like standard plans. So these are ongoing plans that every teacher is familiar with them. They just you don't need to provide much guidance for these activities. So every teacher, this when the semester starts, they just follow those plans, and that's how the things goes on. So basically, what we are following, we are following the standard plans. So let's move on to this traditional goal setting. So how does traditional goal setting happen within a company? So what happened is it's a very interesting topic. So this is how we made the organization. Okay? This is the top CEO, this is the top management. And then they have the middle management, then they have this first line manager. Let's see, they have this. So this top leader comprises of CEOs, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, CMO, Chief Financial Officer, Managing Directors. Okay? So big names like these. So what happens is they make up, they all become board members. So the board goals are to sit at the top of the map. So what they do is they decide the future of the company. They are the one they sit and they just talk and they just discuss and they just plan that that's what we needed to do. So goals are then broken down into sub goals for each organizational level. Then they just send these direction to downs. And it is assumed that, what is the assumption? That the top management knows best because they can see the big picture. It's something like if you are driving a car, you have lots of, what you call it, mirrors working for you. A person sitting next to you, you will say, oh, you're going to bang into another car, but you know that because you're using these mirrors in your favor. So a person sitting next to you is not in a better picture to make a decision. I'm just trying to make your friend here. Okay. Here you both of you are sitting there. So you have a better picture. So that's why we call it these people are sitting on the ivory tower. They see different companies. They see the company from the top. They have got the data of the whole company. And we assume that they are in a better position to make a decision. Now the goals are intended to direct because the instructions are given, they are guided and constraints from the above. So you cannot alter these goals. These are constraints. You have to just follow them. The goals they lose clarity and focus on lower level managers attempt to interpret and define the goals for their areas of responsibility. So the lower level people, because they are not involved in this whole process, they do not know like what is expected from the top management. So let's see if we have got an example here. Yes, we have got an example here. So the downside of traditional goals, what are the problems in it? So these people, they're the top guys, CEOs, CFOs, sitting in their offices, they just think like we need to improve the company's performance. And the division managers, they see it. I want to see significant improvement in the division's profit. So he just thinks that the top management's meaning of performance is increasing profit. So, but because they are not dealing with the profit, so this departmental manager, he also gives himself a target that increase profit regardless of the means. So we have to produce more profits, more outputs more products. And the employees, they also think that don't worry about quality, just work fast. So what happened is, initially, if you are making 10 million of products, 10 million products, I'm just saying products, whatever the product may be, cars or whatever, Now you have achieved like 10 million this year. But what happened? You have made 4 million of redundant products. They're not good. Initially, you had redundancy 4.5. So it's very crucial that all the staff members are on the same picture. They just know what is required by the top management. So the communication gap may exist because these people are not never been into part of the board members. They don't know what is the philosophy behind achieving these or setting these targets for yourself. There is another mechanism. I think we can discuss this after this slide. This is management by objectives. Okay, let's finish this. A means and ends. So basically, this is a traditional goal setting, and then we'll be talking about management by objective, which is contrary to which overcomes the limitations of traditional. But in the meanwhile, let's discuss this hierarchy of goals. This is called means and ends chain. So this tells us if you set yourself some goals, like we set ourselves 12 million goal from 10 million to. So how the best way to do is to divide this goal into small goals. The integrated network of goals that results from establishing a clear defined hierarchy of organization goals. So you have to clearly define a hierarchy of organization goals. So achievement of lower level goals is the means by which you can achieve the higher goals. So as I already gave you the example, like if you just divide it into monthly basis, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so if we just set like 1 million target for each month, so what happens? We're going to achieve 12 million target at the end of the year. It's that easy, isn't it? So that's what he's talking about. And what happens is, for instance, you achieve 1 million in first month, you achieve 1 million in second month, you could not achieve 3 million, 1 million in third month, fourth month, you're shorter. That suggests that there's going to be a problem. So your desired, you will not be able to achieve 12 million by the end of the year. So you need to make some drastic changes. You need to do something, corrective measures. You are required to make some corrective measures. Probably you'll just try to work something extraordinary in month 6, then you will be able to get things going back on the track. So this is what this means and unchanged suggests that we need to achieve lower level goals is the means by which we reach high level goals. So if you achieve this monthly goal, and rather I just divide it into like weekly goals. If in 1 month we are trying to achieve 1 million, then everybody got probably like what is going to be on daily basis, what is going to be the goal for a day. So let's work out. We have got 1 million target for 30 days. So we just need to produce 33,000 332 yes, units on a daily basis. Okay, daily basis. Then by multiplying by 365, you might be able to get 1 million units. So that's how we divide these goals over the period of time. Okay, so now coming back to the traditional management technique in which we were just telling that the top management sitting in their ivory tower, they will just make the decision. That has a limitation, that not everybody is on board. Now, what is the way forward? This called management by objective, in which these specified performance goals are jointly determined by employees and managers. So employees and managers, they sit together and they just decide upon their goals. So the employee himself decides that this is how much I will try to achieve. So progress toward accomplishing these goals is periodically reviewed. So what happens is, after like annual reviews, the manager and the employee, they sit and they see like how much goals this employee has achieved. Has he achieved the goals he has set for himself, or not? Or is he shortly fall of the goals which he was supposed to be achieving? Okay, so then you put reward system for these employees if they are getting these goals achieved on time. And the key elements of management by objective is like they jointly specify the goal. This is called participative decision making. Everybody sits in fork and participate. And explicit performance evaluation processes are carried out, and feedback. The supervisor gives him the feedback, and which is maybe very important for the employee to work on and to improve his productivity. So what are the reasons for MBO success? It's the top management commitment and involvement. If the top management is committed and involved, then MBO, which is called management objective, will work. But if the top management is not committed, then they can be in such problems. Few of the problems that are highlighted are, first one, it is not effective in dynamic environment. So if we are in an environment that is changing on a daily basis, if you are in a kind of a business that is ever evolving and changing, then you have to look into the prospects, how we can change it, because you need decision making on a daily basis. So you cannot ask your employees to come and sit and let's decide about some plans. Probably you just need the quick decision making. And then sometimes it's very overemphasis on individuals' accomplishment that may create problems with the teamwork. So if you're working in a team and you're just concerned about individuals and what individual is making performance, sometimes it is just losing this team spirit, because as a team you are looked at differently. So individuals are just working for themselves, so it can have a negative impact on the performance. So allowing the MBO program to become an annual paperwork, sometimes it's like too much shuffle of papers and too much meetings, and ultimately it becomes boredom and it's not getting no output. What are the steps in goal setting? First, we need to review the organizational mission and mission statement. So first of all, we need to understand what is the mission statement of a company. Do goals reflect in the mission statement? So mission statement is a written statement that defines what the business does. If we have mission statement here, so it tells us the purpose of the organization and what it's doing in the business. Then you evaluate available resources, and that is how you should move forward. Check your mission statement. What do you want to achieve? And then look into your pocket what you have right now. Then determine goals individually or with others. Then think like, this is what we want to achieve. This is where I stand. Now how I can go from this point to that. Then define goals individually or with the help of others. Are goals specific, measurable, and timely? So basically what happens is you have to specify your goals. They should be measurable and they should be timely. So if you not link it with the time, the way I linked it with 2025, I just linked like 12 million. I was very specific that what we are trying to do. In which area we want to increase. So there was sales. So we were very, very specific in this one. So write down the goals and communicate them. So it's very important for the company to write down these goals and communicate to the staff and employees and the whole organization. Is everybody on the same page? Then on the last steps review. Is everybody on the same page? Then on the last steps review results and whether goals are being met or not. So that is the mechanism I have already shared with you. That how you're going to measure the goals on a daily basis, if they are being met or not. What changes are needed in mission resources or goals? Okay. Managers need to develop contingency factors into their plans. Yeah, you must have like a cushion for, it's not the lab test that we are conducting, it's the real world. So numerous things happen and we have never taken into account those things. So managers level in the organization matter. So if their strategic plans are done at the high level, operational plans are done at the lower level, what degree of environmental uncertainty, if the external environment is very unstable, dynamic, then you need specific but flexible plans. But if the environment is stable, then you can just use the specific plan, and that's it. You just give the plan, and your followers are going to follow. Length of the future commitment depends on the commitment's concept. Is it current plans affect future commitment? Must be sufficiently long term to meet those commitments. So you have to have a long-term commitment that would suggest that your commitment to this long-term is sufficient. It must be sufficient. Otherwise, if you are just changing your commitments over the period of time, you'll be wasting your money over the period of time. That's how it looks like. Planning hierarchy, operational plans, and the strategic plans, and how they are being shared between different members. So the top management, the top CEOs sitting on the top of the pyramid, they devise the plan. They are more into strategic planning teams. So, but on the first line managers, they are more on a tactical level. They are just doing the operational thing. In this strategic planning, contribution is very little, even though if they are in MBO. Remember, middle management again is quite a lot involved in the strategy, but not as to compared to the bottom level, first line management. The top management is most they are involved into strategy planning and very little about the operational planning. So that's how it is divided and distributed. So there can be different approaches to planning. As we have discussed, that's going to be formal planning and informal planning. So informal planning, a group of planning specialists who help managers write organizational plans. You can ask, you can get this expertise within your company, or you can get it from outside the company. Planning is basically a function of management. It should never become a sole responsibility of the planner. So it's not like only the planners are responsible. So everybody should own these plans. If you're not owning it, ultimately you're gonna have problems for the whole country. And then an involving organization member in the process, like we said, it will increase the commitment. You will have involvement from these members. It will increase the commitment. Then involving organization members uh, make them more confident and involving them at various levels and then coordinate with other units across the organization is a big challenge for the company. Okay, there is certain criticism on the planning as well. So planning is concerned, it's rigid because we are dealing on the day-to-day activities. So if you are already planned for something and if your situation demands to change, sometimes you just have to carry on the planned activities. Plans cannot be developed for a dynamic environment. This is also one of the limitations. If the environment is changing on a daily basis, you cannot make plans for that. And then this is the biggest pitfall that intuition or creativity. Sometimes you are just planning beforehand, and people they just say like the sixth senses and the intuition. They just think like it's not gonna work, and that's how it is. So sometimes intuitions or things, these are kind you can say spiritual things. Uh, they cannot be quantified into plans. For plans, you need rational digits, facts, and figures, and all this stuff. But sometimes your heart feels like, no, collude. Your cult says, no, it's not gonna work. Or if you can change it this way, it's going to work. So that is missing in most of the plannings. Planning focuses managers' attention on day-to-day competition rather than tomorrow. So what planning does is making you focused on what they are doing today, not for the future. So formal planning reinforces today's success, which may lead to tomorrow's failure. So the success you achieve today is a process by which you did the planning, but you do not ensure that in future you're going to get the same results because it's changing. Every day is changing. Every day you are coming across a totally different kind of challenges. And then effective planning in a dynamic environment, it has its own issues like develop plans that are specific but flexible. So in a dynamic environment, you should make plans that are specific but flexible. So empower your managers to make decisions on the run-to-run basis. And understand that planning is an ongoing process. It's not, you cannot say that one plan is successful and it means you are become very successful, or one plan is failure, it means that you are failure for the rest of your life. So it can be changing. So change plans when consider volume. So you consider it's good change your plans and adapt to the changing situation. Consistency in planning eventually pays off. So any company, any individual that plans beforehand it gets advantages, So if you like, I was coming to a lecture the other day, and I just normally come like half an hour earlier. So I got up and I just saw that there was the tile was indicating that there's a little air in it. So I had to go to the tile shop and get the air done. So the contingency has paid me off, so I can reach on my class on time. So it's always good that you should have some contingency plan, otherwise you'll be having problems. So flatten the organizational hierarchy to foster the development of planning skills at an organization level. So basically, a normal hierarchy is like this. There's a huge distance between top management and bottom management. Some companies can flatten it like this, and they can just skip one layer from here, I guess. And by this, the top management becomes very close to the bottom management, and they can discuss and even they can get feedback from the lowest top. Okay, these are the terms that we have studied today: planning, goals, plans, strategic goals, year goals, planning, strategic plans, operational plans, long-term plans, short-term plans, specific plans, directional, single-use, standing, traditional, means, ends, management objectives, mission, commitment, concept, formal planning, departments. Okay, any questions from your side? Anything that you could not understand? You are welcome to ask me questions. I hope it was not very boring. Sorry for one-way traffic. I did not stop to ask your opinion. So if you have some questions, please go ahead and ask me questions. If there's anything you do not understand, just text me.
Doctor,
Yes, please.
these terms to know are the ones that are going to come in the exam. Like I need to know each one of these. What do they mean? These could come in
Yeah,
the
actually,
exam.
no, not all of them, because as I told you earlier, few of the slides are not, we have not included in this lecture. So not all the terms that we have covered in our, these lectures, they're gonna come in the exam. Did you get what I'm saying?
Again, could you do
Okay, so let me rephrase it.
mm-hmm.
These are the terms that are for the whole chapter, but somehow we did not cover all of these because we have the shortened slides for you. So these terms are not going to come, all of them. Only the terms that we have discussed in the chapter, they're going to come. So no worry about
So
that.
the ones that have been explained extensively are the ones that are gonna
Yes,
come.
yes, definitely. Because
Okay.
this is the standard slide that we have got it from the chapter. So these are not very relevant from our lecture perspective, okay? So they're
Okay.
not going to come all of them
Okay.
because I can see the framing. I have explained to you mission, but the mission statement, I can see the slide is missing for this. So this is like a few of the slides they have just missed them so that keeping in view the student would not be confused, that is the whole objective. Okay, we
Okay. Okay. Thank
can
you, Doctor.
welcome. Okay, can we do a quick uh, attendance for today's lecture? Let me get home to the banner, and because when I do it later on, it makes me very tired to get your details from here and then just transfer it to the Excel sheet, try to see like which student is missing, which is not.
I think on Blackboard there is some place where you could download the attendance sheet now. It's
Yes,
on
that's what.
Teams.
Yes, but when we will download it, it comes in a different format. Then I have to change the format. Then I have to marry match with these. Then That takes half an hour. Good on. Okay. Do we have Abdullah Ali?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So Muhammad Basim.
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Okay. Mubarak Yusuf.
Here, doctor.
Okay. Ahmed Abdurrahman.
Here, doctor.
Okay. Khalid Riyad.
I'm here.
Okay. Good. Faisal Saleh.
Yes, doctor.
Good. Muhammad Ahmad. Do we have Muhammad Ahmad? Abdurrahman Mubarak.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Osman Abdullah.
Yes, here.
Good. Muhammad Fahad.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Abdul Latif Yasir. Okay. Shawan.
Yes, I'm present, doctor.
Okay. Nasir Saeed.
Yes, doctor.
Good. Thank you. Ahmad Abdul Rahman.
Yes, doctor.
Doctor,
Okay. Who is
doctor, I am
this?
Abdul Latif. I have problem with mic.
Okay. No problem. Who is this?
Abdul Latif.
Abdullah. Yeah. Abdullah. Yeah. Surname. Okay. Abdul Latif. Sorry. Got you. Okay. Do we have Muhammad Abdul Khalik? Muhammad, I guess, is here. Yes, we have it. And Abdul Aziz.
Yes, here.
Okay. Sulaiman Saleh.
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Good. Muhammad Abdul Aziz. Muhammad Abdul Aziz. Okay. Okay, موجود. Muhammad Abdul Aziz. I have problem. Muhammad Abdul Khalik. I'm here. Muhammad Ahmad. Okay. So we have Faris Jasim.
Muhammad Imad, yes, I'm here.
Muhammad. Sorry, say again, who is this?
Muhammad Imad Khubair, yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. And Faris?
Yes, doctor.
Good. Tayyib. Abdullah Hassan?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Tayyib. Okay. Abdul Rahman?
Abdurrahman Abdulaziz.
أيوة.
Yes.
موجود?
موجود.
Okay, good. Ali Nabil? Is it Ali Nabil or?
It's Ali Nabil. Yes, I'm here.
Ali. Okay, موجود. Good.
Yes, I'm here.
All Safar? Okay, thank you. Tayyib.
Yes, doctor.
All Safar?
Yes.
Okay, good. Abdul Rahman Usama?
Doctor, Muhannad Al-Tawal has internet problem. He wrote in the chat. Muhannad Abdul
What's his
Khaliq.
name?
Muhannad Abdul Khaliq.
Okay, let me check. Muhammad Abdul Khalik. What's his name? He's present, I guess.
He wrote in the
Abdurrahman
chat.
Aziz. Okay. Abdurrahman Osama موجود. Abdurrahman Osama bin Ahmad.
Yes, doctor, he is present, but he don't have mic.
Okay. Sajjad Jawad.
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Muhammad Mubarak bin Qasim al-Islam. Salama. Muhammad Mubarak. Abdul Hamid. Abdullah. Ali Hamza.
Yes, doctor,
Yes,
I'm
doctor.
Who is this?
I am Abdul Hamid.
Okay, Abdul Hamid موجود. Abdullah موجود. لا موجود.
Ali Hamza doctor is present.
Okay. What about Abdullah? What about Mukhtar Abdulaziz?
Yes, doctor. Yeah, here.
Okay. So what I've got is I've got like 3 students. They are not present today. One is Muhammad Ahmad, one is Muhammad Mubarak, and Abdullah Isa. Is it true?
Doctor, both Muhammad Ahmad and Muhammad Mubarak are here, but I think they have problem with the internet.
Okay, I'm just marking them present. What about Abdullah, Isa bin Mubarak? Anybody knows about them?
Yes, doctor is present, but I don't think he's on mic also.
Okay, no problem. So everybody is present today. This is good news. Okay, thank you very much. We had a great session today, inshallah. This is the recording. You can just refer back to the recording. And hopefully the next class we're going to have a physical meetup, inshallah.